So it's now being brought to my attention that some black folks want to play a game of denial with themselves and, not acknowledge the fact that racism, white supremacy does exist because they don't like the term white supremacy because white supremacy suggests that white people are in a supreme position over us. And with me, I'm just not going to lie about the thing. See, I was taught by the elders to acknowledge white supremacy because if you don't acknowledge white supremacy, existing, you ain't gonna fight it because you ain't gonna fight something that you don't acknowledge that exists. So I was taught by the elders such as Dr. Francis Cress Wilson and others to, address white supremacy, then just work to knock the system of racism, white supremacy, and injustice down altogether. And this is what I do on my platform. I'm not going to sit up here and tell a lie to myself, um, not acknowledging white supremacy because if I don't acknowledge it, then I ain't going to work to fight against it because in that way I'm saying that it don't even exist. But the term white supremacy does suggest that white people are in a supreme position a little bit, but as far as that goes, white people are in a position of power. Anytime you got the ability to let the guilty go free and unpunished, like in the case of George Zimmerman, the guilty rather go free and unpunished. In the case of like George Zimmerman, and what we just recently seen in the case with our brother Jordan Neely and Daniel Penny getting to get that manslaughter charge dismissed. That's certainly you being in a position of power. So white people are in a position of power, and we as black people, we just got to come to terms that we are in an inferior position because white supremacy controls the globe. Now, on the other hand, like I said, we can, in fact, work to knock the system of racism, white supremacy down. And this is what I do on my platform. I just fight against it, but I'm not going to sit up here and lie to myself and, not acknowledge white supremacy existence. So I got the audio and the video of a sister. I agree with the bulk of what the sister's saying. So this is just a friendly disagreement with a little piece of the video, but for the most part, I agree with everything she said. She was right on the money and right and exact, and we're gonna walk through and talk about it how we normally do. Fair use.
Vocabulary, people, okay? Because listen. I feel like we need to upgrade our vocabulary, black people in America. First of all, because we are Sulani. Okay. Now, if you go by African American because you have active African roots in Africa.
Now, I think we need to throw that term African American away because we're not African American. People coming over from the diaspora are African American. And I agree with the term Solon, referring to our people. But with me, I like to refer to myself as freedman or foundational black American, but to each his own. She right on the money, and I agree with her on that part. We not no damn African Americans, but let's continue because we built America and we got ties to the land. Our lineage comes from America, and let's continue.
Do your thing, pimp. I don't have no cousins, no aunties, none of that. I come from chattel slavery. You understand?
Me too. I agree with her on that. Yeah, I'm a descendant of slaves here in America. I'm a descendant of freedmen. But, she chooses to use the term Solon. I choose to use the term foundational black American or freedman. But she right on the money. I agree with her on that part.
So I'm Solon. We're changing that. The next thing we changing, there's no such thing as supremacy that is Blanco.
See, this is the part I have a friendly disagreement with her on. She doesn't want to acknowledge white supremacy because, like I said, some black folks don't want to acknowledge white supremacy because it kind of, suggests that white people are in a supreme position. But I can't lie to myself. I gotta, call it out for what it is. White people are certainly in a power position. Anytime you got the power to let George Zimmerman and Daniel Penny get away free, that's you being in a power position. Anytime you got the ability to let go the guilty, that's a power position. And I can't lie to myself and fool myself, because the elders like Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, they acknowledge white supremacy and just work to fight against it. And that's the type of time I'm on. I'm in alignment and I'm in agreement with that. So this ain't really, me knocking the sister. I just have a friendly disagreement with her. That's all.
Delusion. That is delusion. We will now call it white delusion. It is no longer there's nothing supreme about being absolutely fucking delusional. Nothing supreme about it, babes. So we're going to change that. We're going to wipe that out, okay? Black people, let's get back to the matriarchal society that we're supposed to be living in, okay? The reason you ask your grandma and your great grandma for advice is because they are the head of the family. They are the matriarch. Start respecting your women.
See, I agree with this, respecting our women, respecting our sisters, but I agree with things being 50-50. I agree with the man and the women coming together in conjunction. No one is ahead of no one. We work in conjunction with one another as a black family, as an FBA unit. We work together in solidarity and unity. So I'm not so big on that either.
And we will respect you. We are the smart.
But we certainly got to start holding down and, propping up our sisters more. I'm in favor of that, that little aspect of it.
This fastest growing group in this motherfucking country. Respect our motherfucking authority. You don't see the God on us? Oh, I. And finally, can we release Christianity, black people?
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. Releasing Christianity and, all religion. But I don't knock religion, though, because some people use it to get off of drugs and live a better life. So long as you're using, religion to empower you, go ahead on, right ahead on and knock yourself out. But I don't denigrate religion like a lot of people do. I'm just saying make sure if you're a black person, particularly a foundational black American, whatever you subscribe to is empowering you.
That white delusion released from you, okay? This book that was written by various white people throughout history.
Because hoodoo was ours. She got something, I don't know if she's going to say it or not, but she got something up there saying hoodoo, spirituality and things like that. Hoodoo was ours as foundational black Americans. We practiced that. We healed people with herbs, roots, and things like that, so on and so forth.
Also some sandy white people from the desert.
Yeah, that's pretty much over. The basic thing I want to talk on, because somebody hopped in my comment section, a sister, and me and her didn't, have a full out, all out disagreement, just a friendly disagreement. She don't like the term supremacy either, referring to white people, and it kind of put me in mind to this video, so I just decided to do an impromptu video because, whether whether some black folks want to admit it or not, white people are in a power position and we're in an inferior one. Now, on the other hand, like I do, we can work to knock the system of racism, white supremacy down, but you ain't going to fight nothing that you don't acknowledge. You got to acknowledge it, to fight it. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.